Hello, everyone. Today I'm with Chris Russell, CEO and founder of Zellebrate, an enormously interesting, exciting business. Chris has been working on it for many years, but without any further ado, let's hear from the man himself. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Good to see you today on a lovely, lovely Friday. Jumping straight in, Chris, please tell me a little bit about yourself and your team. And then, if you don't mind, a global superstore for the bricks and mortar marketplace. Can you explain?
Yeah. Okay, Doug, thanks for having me. I guess that started about 7 years ago. I was walking down the street in Melbourne, and it was just as the online revolution was taking place with retail stores were starting to really get a start. And I was looking for a product, and I thought, well, bricks and mortar stores are not going to die. It's not going to be all doom and gloom. They're still going to end up with an enormous marketplace. So about a year later, we started to get serious about it. I found a co-founder for it all, and here we are, 6 years down the track, having a few people working for us, some experts in this space of coding. We've created a solution for bricks and mortar, bringing that into the sphere along with online retailing. I guess the main thing is that if you look at, to summarize, what is Zellebrate, and that big statement that you referred to earlier, think Amazon, but think Amazon for bricks and mortar only products, bricks and mortar retail products. That pretty much sums us up. There is no product out there anywhere, any app, any desktop, any software, any website that you can go to and say, look, I'm popping down the street, I'm looking for a pair of jeans, I'm looking for some drugs, cough medicine and the like, even a bottle of whiskey. What do I go to? You go to Google. It's the only alternative that you have. Go there, find the stores. You'll go in and out of websites once you've done a Google search. You'll track down or fine tune your set of jeans or whatever it is and style. And it might take you 15 minutes if you're looking for something that requires a bit of research. On Amazon, one search, jeans, put in a few other parameters. There you are with a full list of products side by side. You can compare, and that's it. So Zellebrate, same thing as Amazon, except we're taking away that 15 minutes to half an hour search on Google. It's instant and it's fresh, it's saturation coverage. So the convenience for consumers is second to none.
Okay. Now, if I'm correct, you list some of your competitors as being Amazon and Google and others. Now, that's a bold claim. How do you see that? And, is that realistic? What are your aspirations? Now, I can just say that our group has worked with you for a number of years so far. You have raised quite a significant amount of money over recent years. And if I'm correct, Chris, you've got 74 shareholders already. And for those that are listening, this is not just talk. The Zellebrate site exists, the app exists. You have tens of thousands of products listed on Zellebrate already. And you have significant global aspirations. But is it fair to be putting yourself into the same camp as Amazon and others?
Yeah, absolutely, Doug. We've spent, as I said, 6 years building this technological solution so that we can actually go out and compete with those guys. And when I say compete, they're in the space of the pure online only marketplace. You can go to Amazon, you're going to get products that will be delivered to you. There's no semblance of where that product comes from, with the locality of it around you. The money goes in through Amazon's coffers, not the individual retailers. There's no brand awareness necessarily of those on Amazon. But it's convenience. I mean, it provides you this enormous range of products. Zellebrate will do the same thing, but it will not have any online only marketplaces or retailers on there like Amazon. It's specifically for those who are happy to spend their money in the bricks and mortar space. Now, that may be that you spend it online through that store. You can use Zellebrate and go through and buy that product that you find on Zellebrate direct from that store on their webpage via Zellebrate. So these other we don't see ourselves as direct competitors to Amazon, like taking away their clientele, their consumer base. That'd be a nonsense. We are the alternative, as in at the moment there's still 85% of consumer spending around the world and in Western countries is still bricks and mortar stores, over the counter through their stores. Amazon has less than 10%, 6 or 7% of the marketplace. All the other online players like eBay and the like, Etsy, Wayfair, they're all online only stores. There's nothing purely dedicated to what is the biggest marketplace in the world. So the technology that we've built enables just, like Google does now, to crawl over websites all around the world, extract all their data automatically, put it into our big marketplace, and that's how we will end up with even just 12 months, 30, 40 million products on our stores, and be open around the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. So I don't see us as a competitor because there's nothing like us exist anywhere. We will just fill that gap for those who really want to get the quick, instant sort of summation of what's around locally, where can I buy, compare prices and the like that nothing else provides.
Okay, so to boil it down, as the user, if I go into Zellebrate, what will my experience be, and what problem am I looking to solve? What need am I having fulfilled by Zellebrate?
Yeah. At the moment, if you're looking to purchase, about 80%, 90% of consumers, shoppers each month will have gone into Google and done a search, done a bit of research on what they're going to buy. As I said, it may be a pair of jeans, a pair of socks, might be some sunglasses, it could be anything. They'll go in there and they'll look at retail stores around them, look in their websites, look for products that they like, compare those prices. They're going in and out of websites. As I said, it could take 15 minutes, half an hour. It is really grossly inefficient. At the moment, most of those consumers, about 50% of shoppers now are going into Amazon first. Even though only 5% of the actual spend will end up there, because of the instant convenience of Amazon, they're going there. That just demonstrates, the inefficiency of Google. So we replace that Google action with the Amazon S bricks and mortar action. Go into Zellebrate, there are the products. Do that search for the tie or the shoes. Instantly, full array of products, all the stores around you, where they are, how you get there, distance away, click through and buy online. So it's that speed and efficiency and that time frame that everyone craves for these days.
That's incredible. So Chris, you have been at it for 6 years. You have raised money. You've got a nice sort of underpin of shareholders there. I think we've in fact, through my colleague Andrew Jones in the main, has raised money for you. What are the landmark achievements? What have you put in place? What foundations do you have down already for Zellebrate?
One of our, my co-founder in this is a guy called Carl Bennett, used to work for the NAB, National Australia Bank. He was one of their senior managers there when it came to coding and rolling out programs and new software. He worked there for about 30 plus years. Extremely experienced person right across the IT spectrum of solutions, and you have to be for this. This is enormously complex, this solution. So at that bank, for example, he ran software, created software, and a team of half a dozen or so coders under him that represented half of NAB's loans portfolio around the country. Sorry, a third of their loans portfolio. He ran their entire system that the tellers used around the country. He created that software. So as you can imagine, there's billions and billions of dollars at stake in that enterprise. He's been freelance for a while. We teamed up that 6 years ago. And so he's provided this technological sort of solution. And that is creating something that can look at pretty much any website, any player around the world. There, as you can imagine, there are so many varieties and scopes of websites out there that's almost impossible to do something that gets everything off them automatically. We've pretty much built that solution and dumbed it down so much and simplified it so much that we can do it extremely quickly. That information goes up into the cloud now, into Amazon Web Services, the latest cutting edge technology in that area. It has to go through and be indexed in these databases in the cloud and be sorted so that it can go down on a locational basis to where you are, to an individual phone instantly and show you where the products are around you, prices, etc. Now that solution, so if I was to sum up what's our achievement, it's bringing that together. It's pretty much that specifically what Calum's taken about 3 years to get right. And we've got some of the best coders in Australia working for us. Even got a Siberian working for us who's a specialist. And these highly credentialed guys, including Carl, get that information up there. And then, as well as that, how can we scale up worldwide? How can we press a button and instantly it starts to appear in America? And there's no difference in load, the costs are cheap, and that's what we've done. That's what's, once any potential investors, as has happened in the past, start to talk to Carl, have their experts look underneath the bonnet, they'll see this enormously sophisticated system that now works simply, easily. We could have non-experienced IT individuals doing things for us, so we don't need to have high wages and the like. So I think that would be the main achievement. And now that's going to roll out, as I said, the next 12 months to start with, be across the States, UK, Canada, servicing about 350 million consumers. So
when you say that's going to roll out, that's kind of a segue into my next question. My understanding is that the architecture, the infrastructure, the tech's in place. You've been sort of proof testing this or rolling it out in Australia for the last probably few years. You've got a massive amount of Australian sort of retailers and products on Zellebrate already. So I want to re-emphasize that those listening to us can go in right now, search up Zellebrate, go into the website, pull down the app, get it on your smartphone, and you can start using Zellebrate right now. What I find terribly exciting about Zellebrate is its scalability. You can push into, which I think are your plans, and I want you just to elaborate on your short-term vision and where you're going. You can push into Canada, the US, etc., into those enormous markets quite cost-effectively and effortlessly. Is that your near-term vision? How does that work? How's that going to roll out? Okay,
so we've been doing an extreme amount of testing in the last 2 years. The app can be downloaded from the App Store, keeping in mind it's still a demo app. We're running live stuff through it. So there'll be occasional little quirk, but it's been working fine. We've all been using it, no doubt yourself, Doug, to find things and actually out there when we're shopping. So that's in place. So the next, but the last 2 years has primarily been about how do we scale this up? We know that it works. We've got around 1.5 to 2 million products on Zellebrate on average over the last couple of years. It's really extensive stage of about 1,000, about 2,000, 2,500 retailers, about 30,000 stores that they represent. So really saturation coverage. So on that, we can scale those numbers up worldwide. On a GDP basis of other first world countries, we can see how many we will estimate products we can get on the systems around the world. So over the next 12 months, for example, we will now be going into the US, UK, Canada as well. It probably take about 3 or 4 months total to do that. The costs are extraordinarily low because of this automation. And the result of that, we should have about 30 to 40 million products. That will be bigger than most of the online marketplaces in the world and the amount of products that they have. And so already this enormous playing field that will draw in the consumers because we have the range, like Amazon has the range. No one else will have the range that we will have on a bricks and mortar basis. So the scale is there.
Extraordinary, 30, 40 million products by the end of next year and rolling into those massive economies. Will be huge. Now that sort of takes me to the investor, Chris. You're looking to raise money now. What's your message to the investor? What are you looking to raise? How are you going to apply those funds? And why should investors get excited about Zellebrate? Personally, I'm excited. I've been watching it with interest, watching the hard work that my colleague Andrew Jones has put in with you, Chris, and the developments and the commitment. And to me, it's a really mind-boggling proposition. But from an investor point of view, how much money do you want from us as investors? If I could talk on behalf of investors, how are you going to apply those funds? And what does the future look like? Why should I get excited? If we freeze the frame in 5, 10 years time, what does Zellebrate look like? What's your vision?
Zellebrate is, it's always been this format of we want it to be anything bricks and mortar, not just retail. We get the consumers in, the biggest consumption activity in the world, if you take away, say, takeaway food, eating, is bricks and mortar retail. So if you can provide something that makes it very, very easy for them to come to your platform, then it can morph out and do everything else. You know, you can be doing cafes, restaurants, you can be booking tables, you know, hotels and the like. So right now, it's that retail focus, which is by itself a huge marketplace. So we're raising $2 million in this one, Doug. That's to be spent on us adding a few more programming resources, starting to expand into the, as I said, we will have mapped, we hope to have mapped by mid next year fully UK, Canada, and the US. So with the next, you know, 6 to 12 months, we've already built the scale. We know we need 1 or 2 more extra programs. We need some data mapping individuals. Then in the first half of next year, we'll be adding on some revenue generating pieces. There'll be a cashbacks capability. We'll be allowing advertising on there. We have a big data component. We'll be tracking everything that users do on the app, you know, anonymously, with not getting their private details. So that then it can be pulled in and fed back to the retailers, so they know how they're tracking against their competitors, and they can be adjusting their prices live and the like, and we're selling that information back. So I guess where we're going in the next few years, towards the end of next year, we'll be starting to map Europe. The year after that, we expect to have Europe complete, and Asia the following year, something like 26 countries. We'll have about 80 million products. That will be within about 3 years, 3 to 4 years. That represents about 860 million consumers who are currently shopping online and the like, so they're all savvy with the current technology. And the figures behind that, the financial modelling behind what that represents, we have 1.2% of that 860 million consumers after 5 years. Those figures are astounding. Like extremely modest assumptions on advertising, cashback arrangements. We'll have premium subscription services, just like Amazon. We'll bring in live streaming services and the like. So 5 years is our first mark, and we're aiming to be that, you know, next big marketplace out there.
Okay, we don't really have enough time to go into the revenue model, but from what I understand, there's a number of different revenue lines that you're working on, and having looked at the forecasts, the numbers are truly mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Now, of course, one could say, if it looks too good to be true, it often is, but I think that's not really the case here, because you could potentially be in the same camp as a Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think we should discard the potential. But Chris, I think let's wrap it up there. I think the important thing is that people have got to listen to you and to see the man and to hear from you where you're going, and to sense your passion. All of the information is available to the listener or the viewer on Entrepreneur Australia. There's a detailed overview. Zellebrate's website is there. The investment pitch deck, which is an absolutely awesome investment pitch deck, if I might say, is on there. Anybody would like the detailed sort of forecasts, information memorandum and the like, term sheet, they can contact my colleague Andrew Jones or myself directly. And for those that are listening, if you're seeking to raise capital for your business and you want to know how, and you want to follow in the steps of Zellebrate, please contact us here at Entrepreneur Australia and let us see how we can help you. Chris, thank you for your time. I wish you a very, very peaceful and restful weekend and lots of success. And thank you for sharing with us.
No, thanks a lot, Doug. Appreciate that.
It's a pleasure. You have a great one.
So with you.
Cheers now. Bye.